Testing 1, 2.
Trumpet.
Kurt Murray.
Check, 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 check. Hey, hey. Cool.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Cattlemen's Congress. We are about ready to get started with your junior Braford show here in the Jim Norick Arena. Our Brafords are going to show over here in Ring 2 this morning. Over here in Ring 1, we will start at 10 o'clock with your mini Hereford show.
I can fix it on the spreadsheet.
We are going to get started in your junior Braford show with Class 1 Summer Heifer Calves.
Good morning. Definitely a neat event here with our Braford and F1 show, and we kick off with a nice pair, very, very sound, practical type heifers, but there is probably just a difference in just their outline, weight, or design, and so I'm going to use a smaller heifer here. For me, I like the way she comes together in her spine. When we get these two on travel, to me she's a little square from behind there as well. Sets her feet down very, very good. There is a little more grow, a little more extension, and the one we're going to leave here in a second, big-footed, heavy-boned one there as well. Just for me, though, gets just the running downhill shade, a little coarser about her shoulder, more pronounced there, like the square hawk up a little bit. But that's a good pair of females to kick off our show.
Well, congratulations in our first class here in your Junior Braford show. First place to go to back number 201, Haley Sheffield with CK Poppy 5230. And second place to go to back number 211, Clancy Hebert with EK Miss COVID 19. Now in the ring is a single entry class 2 late spring heifer calves in your Braford show.
Yeah. We'll just walk them around and profile them. I think a nice single entry here. We're bringing this class, a really, really neat, attractive one. Tiger striped heifer that's got some really good boldness in terms of her body. There's some thickness there, but yet there's still femininity. There's still some flexibility to her. So another neat heifer here within this first division.
Well, congratulations in Class 2. First place to go to back number 210, Elise Johnson with TS Miss Angel Fire. Next in will be Class 3, early spring heifer calves born between March 1st and March 31st.
think an interesting trio of heifers, and you just got to make one call, whether you think the one in third is cowy enough right now in terms of her body, and then once you get past that, you've got two of them that today are a little bit better in their body shape, a little bit bolder and stouter, and of those two, this one probably handles her feet and legs in just a little bit sounder manner. I like her comfort up front, probably just a little smoother in the way she sets on her rear leg there as well. And still has some length and still has enough presence about her. She's not as neat looking maybe as especially the one in third, but there's still some balance and symmetry to that one. I love this one's stoutness. I love her ruggedness. She's heavy boned. She's stout featured, and she's got a lot of thickness to her. Just today wants to get up and fight it a little bit in terms of her structure. Like her, make her more relaxed there. This one's hard for me because I think down the road as a bred, as this continues to put on weight and put on body, she'd definitely be at the front end of this class because she's so neat in terms of her look. She's so good in the way she sets her lower joints and feet to the ground. Just today, though, awfully green in her body, just not quite there relative to body shape of those two we set ahead of her. So that's three good heifers there in that class.
Well, congratulations in Class 3 of your Junior Braford show. First place will go to back number 208, Luke Meyer with MCC Miss Lucy 018. Second place goes to back number 206, Mason Meyer with Miss MCC Sweet Tart 002. And third place go to back number 214, Miriam Hargrove with DD 514 Marybelle 2005. Now in the ring will be your final class before we select our champion and reserve champion heifer calf. This will be Class 4 junior heifer calves born between February 1st and February 28th.
Got another good trio of heifers here, and probably the heifer we start with obviously gives up a little depth of body to one in second, but her body shape in terms of boldness, and then her combination of a little extra look, and more importantly, her rear leg soundness is why I lead off with her in this class. I love her length. I love her compositionally, where she sets in there as well, and again, sets down so much better there on her feet. This one's deeper. She's just a little better in terms of just the depth and softness of her rib cage. A big broody one that's got some performance. I like to change the way she lands off of her rear skeleton, sets her hind leg underneath her just a little much for me personally. Maybe comes in just a little bit at her hop. Much like the same conversation we had in the last class, this thing's beautiful to look at here in third. So good headed and good neck. Really good in terms of her spine and her length of hip. And there's a lot of neat characteristics about her. Just today, a little greener there in terms of her body shape. She comes on and develops. She makes that more competitive, but today a little shallower maybe than what those other two appear. So again, a nice trio of heifers.
Well, congratulations here in Class 3 early spring heifer calves. First place will go to back number 206. Correction on that, 205, Mason Meyer of your Class 4 junior heifer calves. First place, Miss Rika 003. Second place went to back number 207, Luke Meyer with MCC Miss Diamond 001. And third place will go to back number 219, Megan Williams with DD 514 Stormy 2002.
I think a neat set of them here within this first division. Again, some differences in kind, and you can tell some variation. But for me, leaving Texas quite a while ago and being in Okinawa, this is honestly a little breath of fresh air to see this kind of cattle that I grew up around, grew up seeing back here out here in the show ring. So pretty neat to see. But little one that came out of that first class, again, really, really nice design. Still has some body shape to her. Structure's pretty square. Like the one that came out of that second class, just has a neat look to her, but yet compositionally and still has some stoutness to her and some squareness about her. Not the heaviest bone, but kind of goes along with her refined look. And then these next two class winners, probably a little more alike in terms of just boldness and stoutness there. They probably don't have maybe the look as what these two do. So we get down to this kind of setting here. You're trying to combine cow features and factors, but yet still keep some look and presence. Our Class 2 winner, which was our single entry, will be your champion here in this division. Going to use the little heifer there up front out of Class 1 to be reserved. But let's give them a hand. Nice set of them.
Well, congratulations, and your champion heifer calf is going to go to back number 210, Elise Johnson with TS Miss Angel Fire. And reserve champion heifer calf will go to back number 201, Haley Sheffield with CK Poppy 5230. Now in your Jim Norick Arena, Ring 2 will be bringing in Class 8 Early Spring Yearling Heifers.
I think another really good pair of heifers, and maybe as close of a pair just because they're different out here. But when that young lady does that right there and stops that one, it's just hard not to like her. Really, really good in terms of her boldness and her squareness. I like her structure, where she plants her feet, where she keeps them collected, very, very loose and limber as she goes. And then, like I said, just got a really different look about her, lays into her shoulder a little better, just a little more correct in a lot of areas. A little more volume here, in this neat colored one here, and I love just the shape of her body. The depth of her body is very, very good, and she's still neat and feminine in terms of her shoulder, her head, and the thinness of her neck there. Front stride works the right way. Part of it's her fighting it, and part of it's her. I'd still like to lengthen her hip, set her down differently there in terms of her hind leg relative to the class winner, but that's a good pair of heifers.
Well, congratulations in that last class. Class 8 early spring yearling heifers. First place went to back number 202. Brinley Boudreau with Miss CWG Maybelline 1926. Second place went to back number 204. Mason Meyer with MCC Miss Sunny 904. Now in ring 2 is your junior yearling heifers in class 9 of your junior Braford show.
Another nice class here, and in my mind, an exceptional pair that we get to study and see here. So good and elegant, and just the way she puts things together. Her head and posture, thinness of her neck's good. I love her how comfortable she is in her spine and the way she puts her hind leg down. And I think maybe even as good as anything. Check out her udder. Check out the start to the calf she has. Just a really good pair that's doing things the right way. A lot of quality amongst those two as well. Nothing taken away from one we're going to leave here in second. That one's good in terms of just the stoutness of her hip. The boldness of her body is good. She's pretty stout featured there in terms of bone and foot. May not be quite as good in her shoulder angle and shoulder smoothness as what the class winner, just not the same kind of look and presence maybe as what that one offers, but still good kind of cattle.
Well, congratulations over here in ring 2. First place, we'll go to back number 212, Clancy Hebert with LVGE 702 Annie 91. Second place, go to back number 203, Mason Meyer with TR Reliance 943P. We'll now bring in those first and seconds and select a champion and reserve champion fall heifer calf.
Two really nice heifers, just the profile, the outline, the quality that both these heifers bring forth, I think is very, very good. Both of them sound, both of them very correct in terms of their structure, and so there's just a lot of good going on within this division. But again, maybe still a difference in terms of just the way they hit you, the little finite things as far as head and neck set, but yet still has some squareness and some hip in her. Boy, I just like the way what she's doing and how she's doing it there. Hard for me to get past the pair there today. She's going to be our champion in this division. Going to use the young lady here out of Class 1, though, to be reserved. Two really, really good heifers.
Well, congratulations in your fall heifer calf division. Your champion's going to go to back number 212, Clancy Hebert with LVGE 702 Annie 91. And your reserve champion will go to back number 202, Brinley Boudreau with Miss CWG Maybelline 1926.
Got another nice single entry we have here. Again, very maternal in the way she's made and designed, so smooth blending of her pieces and the way her muscle goes into her body. Still one that has some bone, has some foot underneath there, and I like her soundness there as well. So we'll compare her a little later, get a little more picky on her then, but a really nice one to represent this class.
Well, congratulations over here in your Braford ring. Your champion yearling heifer is going to go to back number 200, Haley Sheffield with RMC 355 Victoria 9486. Now in the ring will be your late senior yearling heifer born between October 1st and December 31st.
Another very practical, easy fleshing type female that's going to represent this class. Very, very sound on her joints. I love the flatness and smoothness of her joints, the quality of her feet that she has there as well. Shoulder angle, the way it lays in is very, very good. Still very comfortable when she gets on the move. I think if you compare, maybe you make her just a little stouter when you get in behind her, boy, one that's just got a lot of still good things going for making a future cow.
Well, we are just about ready to get started over here in Ring 1 with your miniature Hereford show. Your judge this morning will be Mr. Matt Leo. We're going to start with Class 1A Fall Junior Heifer Calves born between July 1st and December 31st, 2020. There'll be 2 entries in this class.
A nice setup that we have out here. Again, a really unique experience for me to get to see these up here again. Got me missing home a little bit, to be honest with you. But we'll go through these a little bit here. Our calf division winner, a neat heifer. I think one that's got a bright future. I love her outline and just the way she's designed and made. Again, her composition, the boldness of her, the stoutness of her, but yet she's still refined and looks ladylike out here. Just got a nice start to her. The pair we have here next, again, puts a lot of good together. Just her look, her presence, her outline, and then you get her on the go. Boy, she sets them down in the right manner, doing a nice job with the calf and got a beautiful bag and mammary system there. One that came out of the next class, getting a single entry. I love her at the ground. Good footed, got some structure underneath her, still very smooth made and practical. I like to just stouten her up a touch and give her just a little more look up front. And then a long pattern one here that's probably as fluid moving and loose as you can make them in terms of her structure. Just give her a pinch more from behind, probably to really make her run and go out here. So a very nice set of them, but one that hit me pretty hard. I'm a pretty big fan of. You could probably make her a little bigger bone, but other than that, I don't think there's just a whole lot wrong with her. Our pair here is going to be our champion here today.
Well, congratulations. Your grand champion, Braford female, is going to go to back number 212, exhibited by Clancy Hebert with LVGE 702 Annie 91.
And as we pull the reserve division into line again, when she stops and plants that one, boy, the right kind of look, the right kind of presence. Still one that's very sound, still one that's very square built. I thought those were 2 of the better females we saw today to that point, and I still think they are. So we're going to keep those 2 together. Young lady that was reserve division will be reserve.
And congratulations, your reserve champion's going to go to back number 202, Brinley Boudreau with Miss CWG Maybelline 1926. Once again, congratulations to our Braford female exhibitors. We're going to get started here with Class 51, F1 Braford Summer Heifer Calves.
Well, good morning, and what a pleasure to be here at the Cattlemen's Congress in Oklahoma City and to sort through your mini Herefords out here, and I think it's going to be a fun day, and what a great way to start the day off on a class like this. We've got 2 falls out here. We're going to start with the young lady up front out here in the red vest, a female that comes out. She's big boned, she's big-footed, she's one that's really stout-featured. To go with that, she's smooth-shouldered, she's long and lean and trim up through that front end. You sure like how much middle and body she's got to go with that, but at the same time, she's so powerful powerful and has so much balance to her. She comes out here in a real high profiling kind of a package out here that gives you a real modern look. The female that comes out right behind her next and second is one that I think follows her a lot in terms of type and kind. The one that's made right in terms of how straight and strong she is in her top. She's a big pin kind of a female. One that maybe just gives up a little bit in terms of length of neck and front end, as we find in that good class winner. Two good heifer calves here in our fall class. Let's give them a round of applause if we could. Congratulations to you.
Well, congratulations, and a good way to start out our mini Hereford show. First place, we go to back number 100, Addison Poe with Poe Miss Mighty Sky 2. And second place, we go to back number 101, Claire Christensen with CX3 Champs Cupcake. Now in the ring will be Class 1B Fall Junior Heifer Calves born between July 1st and December 31st, 2020.
Two really nice females over here on the mini side of things in this class. The female we're going to start off with out here, the young man's got, is one for me. I think has much more style and power to her. I think she balances up better from end to end. Her neck ties up neater and smoother at the top side of her shoulders. I think she's longer and looser in her spine. She's one when you get right behind her, she's got more power to her. I like the rib shape they've got in this female. It's the kind that's out. It's real uniform in terms of her underline. If we could change this female ever so slightly when she gets out and goes, she wants to knuckle and be a little bit tighter in those rear two pasterns. The female that follows her right behind her is one in her own right. She's big pinned, she's big boned, big footed kind of a female. She wants to be just a bit tighter in terms of the way that she's put together in her top line. We'd like to loosen her up and lengthen her out through that front end just a touch. Two nice heifers. Congratulations to you.
Beautiful heifer here to start off this division in our F1 and Braford show over here. And boy, I just love the stoutness and boldness and goodness of her body, the way things blend and fit together. And that one's really, really impressive when you get her on the go in terms of her structure, joints, and the way in which they function and move. So a neat single entry, a nice way to start off this division. got us another single entry here. Looks like she's wanting to get used to the environment just a little more. You can go ahead and start to lead her out there. Really neat and good to look at. Very feminine, very angular type of a female. It's got some grow. She's got some performance to her. Again, as she continues to body down and develop, we'll like her even that much better. But a good way to start here. Another good single entry.
Well, congratulations over here in your Braford ring. First place out of that first class went to back number 213, Kenner and Gaspard with MSJSDJF Marangoon 28-0. Now we have class 52, late spring heifer calves. First place went to back number 216, Coy McDaniel. Next in the ring will be class 53, early spring heifer calves.
4 really nice heifers we've got over here, and I think it's quality and balance and sheer power that this top female runs to the top of the class pretty quick. One that's super cool from the side. You like how she's laid in through her shoulder, so neat and smooth, yet she's up-headed and real clean through her throat latch and down through her chest floor. To go with that, she's a long-spined female. She's got plenty of power to her, sound on her feet and legs, and one that sure gives you a real stylish look. The female that comes out next in second is one I think you see worlds of future about her out here today. She's one that balances up good from end to end, real level and square in terms of her hip. She's one that maybe just gets a little shorter coupled up front compared to that class winner that leads out in front of her. The female that comes out next in third does have the advantage out here of being leaner and trimmer made. She's longer. She's one that sure is neat shouldered and real trim up through that front end. We'd like to see some more body. We'd like to see some more power to her as the way she goes. And the female we round the class off with, one that's presented really nice, one you sure like how cool fronted she is. She's one we'd like to see more of her. Compared to those three in front of her, we'd like to power her up. We'd like to stouten her up in terms of her footwork as well. Nice set of females out here. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations over here in your miniature Hereford ring. Class 1C, Fall Junior Heifer Calves. First place will go to back number 110, Brooke Fuss with WS Weston Sparkle Ray. Second place goes to back number 106, Kaylin Kinder with CK Nightingale 071 ET. Third place went to Brenna Thornson, and fourth place go to back number 113, Myra Morgan. We will now be selecting your champion and reserve champion Fall Junior Heifer Calf.
Got us another nice single entry, just really functional, really good in terms of just how things fit together, her smoothness, the maternal look that she has out here, and probably where I like her the most is when we get her on the move, really sets them down in a comfortable, flexible way. So another nice single entry within this division. We'll see how she stacks up here later as well.
Well, congratulations over here in your Braford ring. First place out of class 53 will go to back number 218, Delinda Landry with Miss C 101.
Really nice division we've got out here in your Fall Junior Heifer Calves, and we've got three good class winners and three good seconds out here that came out of those respected classes, some good cattle that made their way on back. The female that came out of our first class out here, as we talked about her before, one that's super stylish in the way that she's put together. She's very functional in terms of her build. She's one that gives you a real modern look to go with that. She's got a lot of class. She's got a lot of power, a lot of balance out here. Young lady does a nice job. Young man's heifer calf that comes out right behind her, one that's powerful and shapely in terms of the way that she's made. She's a big pin kind of a female. One you sure like how good-footed and legged she is out here. At the same time, she's a female that's long and lean about her front end. She's really tight and neat and smooth the top side of her shoulder. She's long and loose in that spine and square back through that hip. Real functional kind of a female that came out of our third class out here. One you sure like the body volume she's got. She's got the right kind of spring and sweep to the center and lower portions of her rib cage to go with that. She's got a great set to her hock and to her rear pastern out here. one that I think has worlds of cow future to go with it. I'm going to go out and take one more look. We'll pick you a champion, then we'll get you reserve. Before we do that, let's give these exhibitors a big round of applause out here in this division. Congratulations to you.
Back on this side, boy, another really good single entry here. Just a lot of volume and stoutness to this one, but yet with that, I think her muscle goes onto her body in a very feminine and maternal fashion. Feet and legs are still at an advantage as well in the way she gets out and goes. At this stage, starting to put on a little more condition, but yet still carrying it for the most part the right way. So another nice single entry here within this division.
Well, congratulations over here in your mini Hereford ring. Your champion fall junior heifer calf is going to go to back number 100, Addison Poe with Poe Miss Mighty Sky 2. And reserve champion will go to back number 110, Brooke Fuss with WS Weston Sparkle Ray. Now in ring 1, we'll get started with Class 2A Summer Junior Heifers, born between May 1st and June 30th, 2020. Back over here in your Braford side, first place out of Class 217 went to Delinda Landry. We'll now be selecting your champion and reserve champion, Braford F1 females.
got a nice division here, and Brindle Heifer here up front as we get to studying her. Probably as good a structured, good a moving heifer as we have within this group before. I love just her smoothness. I like the quality she puts forth and puts together. Obviously, she's a little younger, maybe didn't have the maturity and stoutness of some of those other ones just yet, but I think her build and just her promise and her future keeps her in contention out here pretty strongly today. Really neat and attractive one up into her top line and up through her head and neck. A lot of femininity to that one. Obviously still a little green to the system, still a little greener in her body. Just want to soften her up just a bit today. Heifer that came out of that next class, again, good at the ground, has some levelness and some correctness to her there as well. You know, you get her on the move, I still think she's sound, just maybe not as neat in terms of her head and neck, carriage, and shoulder as maybe a couple other ones out here, but boy, still a useful heifer. Then the big broody one of the group, a lot of power, a lot of width, a lot of substance to her. Still one that still has enough smoothness and probably blends her pieces together well enough. I like to make her just a little more conservative in her width up front, just a shade. So really nice set of them. I really like this one up front. Young man's going to have our champion here in this division. Young lady out of the 4th class there will be reserved.
Really nice class of Mays and Junes we've got over here on the mini side of things, and I think you've got a little difference amongst type and kind probably in these top three females. And the heifer we're going to elect to start off with out here for me is one I think she just brings that much more to the table, ladies and gentlemen. I think she's more uniform in her body depth. She's more powerful in the way that she goes. At the same time, she gives you a good look with lots of balance and eye appeal to go with it. Young lady does a great job of getting her on point and getting her shown. If you could change this female ever so slightly for me out here today, I'd like to just trim her up just a touch in terms of her condition, but I think that's one that's sound-footed. She's broody in terms of her type. She gives you a good look, and she's one that's presented to a T. The heifer that comes out next and second for me out here is one that's probably more ideal in terms of her degree of condition out here and how far she is along in terms of where she's at for her age. She's one that's sure stylish up through her front end, her shoulders flat and smooth. The point, she's one that gives up just a touch in terms of body volume, but in terms of soundness and being athletic, she can really get out and go. Female that comes out next and third, the young man's got, she's probably the biggest bone, biggest hip female out here. She's one for me that just gets a touch higher in terms of her tail head. She's maybe just a nickel wider and coarser through her shoulders right there, and we'd like to smooth her up. The heifer that comes out right behind her is one that does have the advantage over the heifer beneath her there of being trimmer and I think more ideal in terms of where she's at condition-wise. She's longer neck, she's trimmer through her chest floor. We'd like to see some more substance to her. We'd like to see her more relaxed in terms of the way she carries her top line. Heifer we round the class off with, big-footed, big-boned. She's one that sure is burly in terms of her type and kind. She's one for me as you get from her shoulders forward, we'd like to smoothen her up. We'd like to trim her up through her chest floor as well. Nice set of females out here with some differences. Congratulations to you.
Well, congratulations back over here in your Braford side. Your champion heifer calf went to back number 213, exhibited by Kenner Gaspard, and reserve went to back number 217, exhibited by Delinda Landry. Now in your ring 2, we are selecting your champion yearling coming with back number 209.
Really nice single entry that could definitely stand more competition. Talk about a power cow, and this one's it. Boy, her boldness and her rib cage are phenomenal. I still think one that's got some real punch to her, but yet, boy, her feet and legs work the right way. Her balance is good. Just a lot of things fit together and blend together on that female quite well at a high degree. So really nice heifer here that we'll be able to compare back here for our champion.
Well, congratulations. Champion of that division is going to go to back number 209, exhibited by Slade Shrove with Miss GS19. We're going to bring all of those champions back in over in ring 2 to select a grand and reserve champion, Braford F1 female. Back over here in your mini Hereford ring, we have the results of Class 2A Summer Junior Heifer Calves. First place went to back number 116, Addison Poe with KLD Katie Zella 029HET. Second place went to back number 119, Sutton Stelzer with 6E STLZ Red Cherry F05. Third place goes to back number 114, exhibited by Hudson Harris. Fourth place will go to back number 117, Larry Herman. And fifth place went to back number 118, Harley Holman. Now in your mini Hereford ring is Class 2B, Summer Junior Heifer Calves.
Been a fun show, and again, maybe not the extreme amount of numbers, but these are quality. I like these two quite well. I think if we'd have had a lot of numbers, these two could still surface up there and fit right well. So again, that younger one, she's got a good start. Just a lot of things going right with her joints, her structure, her base, her build, a lot of things about her. And then our older one here, our July Heifer, boy, just a really, really powerful one, and does a great job of mixing power with athleticism and still comfortable and still balanced and proportional. She looks a lot like the stuff we try to raise here at our house, that blend power with some structure, so it makes it fitting. I like her pretty well, so we're going to use her to be our champion. Come back and use the younger heifer there for reserve.
You picked the yearling? Well, congratulations over here in your Braford ring. Your champion, Braford F1 female, is going to go to back number 209, Slade Shrove with Miss GS19. Reserve champion in that show is going to go to back number 213, Kenner Gaspard with Miss JSDJF Maringo 280. Once again, congratulations to all of our Braford exhibitors, and a special thank you to Mr. Brandon Callis for judging this morning.
Really nice class in the mini side of things. Some early May heifers over here. And the female we're going to start off with, for me, I think is one that probably puts the most good things together. She's the biggest bone, biggest footed, yet at the same time, she's very feminine up through that front end. She's long necked, she's long faced, she's one that ties in neat and smooth at her shoulder. I love her top line and how much natural width and thickness she's got to go with that. At the same time, she's one that's got plenty of middle and power to do that. The female that comes out next in second is one I think is real crisp in terms of her lines. She's one that gives up a little bit in terms of her length of her front end, as we find in that good class winner, maybe gives up just a touch in terms of substance of bone. But I think that female is really practical in terms of the way that she's made. I like how much spring and shape she's got to her body. I like how functional she is back through her hip and through her hock. Female that comes out next in third does have the advantage of being longer spine. She's probably one of the trimmer-made females out here. For me, we just like to pull her apart underneath just a touch. We'd like to see those front toes point a little square, and in more head she wants to turn out just a touch. But I think that's one that's got a lot of eye appeal. She's got a lot of look to her, and she's very trim in the way that she does that. Female we round the class off with, she's sound on her feet and legs. She gets a touch shorter and plainer about her front end, a little coarser right at the point of her shoulder. We'd like to smoothen her up. Nice set of May heifers out here. Congratulations to you.
Well, Well, congratulations over here in your mini ring, Class 2B, Summer Junior Heifer Calves. First place will go to back number 577, Colt Berkheimer with FSC Minnie Mouse 001HE. Second place went to back number 122, Charmaine Fillmore with MJMH. Huxley Rose. Third place in that class will go to back number 419, Wayne Ringer with WCR I Love Moosey. And fourth place in that class goes back number 120, exhibited by Leading Edge Gene. Now in ring one, we'll be selecting your champion and reserve champion, Summer Junior Heifer Calf.
As we here in division and your Summer Junior Heifer Calves out here, two really nice class winners and good seconds out here in front of me. The female that came out of our first class in this division, one that's got plenty of punch and power to her. At the same time, she's got a lot of a future cow look to her. I like how up-headed she is. I like how smooth she is to study from the side. At the same time, when you get over the top side of this female and you study her, she reads with a lot of natural width and thickness. She's wide in terms of her pin set. I love the rib shape in that female, and that's the body that I like in them right there. I like them when they've got plenty of spring and sweep to the center and lower portions of their rib cage. They look really functional out here, and she's one that's sound on her feet and legs. She holds all this power and all this look together so good on the move, and at the same time, she's very classy and a well-balanced package. One of the stouter featured females we've seen out here thus far comes out of our second class, and she's big bone, yet she's clean in terms of her joints. She's a big-footed kind of a female, and she's one that sure gives you a cool look from the side. I like how up-headed she is. The body shape she's got to go with that, but at the same time, she's one that I think is just right in terms of her condition out here for her age. I'll go out and take one more look. We'll pick you a champion, then we'll get you reserved. Before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, help me out. Let's give a big round of applause out here in this division.
Well, congratulations over here in your miniature Hereford ring. Your champion Summer Junior Heifer Calf is going to go to back number 116, Addison Poe with KLD Katie Zella 029HET. And reserve champion will go to back number 577, Colt Berkheimer with FSC Minnie Mouse 001HET. Congratulations to all of those exhibitors. We'll get started here with Class 3A, Spring Junior Heifer Calves, born between April 1st and April 30th, 2020.
Really nice set of April females we've got out here, and for being Aprils, I think in terms of our size for our age, we're a little bit all over the board out here and different maturity patterns. But the female we're going to start off with in this class for me is one that comes out here, and she brings a lot of power to the table, and one you sure like the body volume, like about her, you like